You are now listening to For All Nerds Show, a podcast about geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. For All Nerds is hosted by DJ Benhameen and Tatiana and Jones. For All Nerds Show is a member of the Loudspeakers Network, where we always say rest in peace to our founder, Combat Jack.
For All Nerds Show is powered by our listeners. Everything we do, from our podcasts, live events, our website, are all independently funded. Please continue to support us through our Patreon page at patreon.com/forallnerds.
Welcome to the Fan Bros, the show where the bros are fans. Doodle.
And what's up, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the For All Nerds Show, the voice of the urban geek, the podcast where we discuss geek culture from the perspective of people of color. And sitting in the captain's chair, as always, it's your boy DJ Benhameen, aka Soldier 70 Spliff, a professor in Mary Jane, no longer Quentin Quarantino, Charlie Brownish, light work Yagami, toss a coin to your ninja, Blart Bent, here in the spaceship tonight. You see, I got the glasses on. That's Blart Bent style right there. And as always, I'm joined by
Tatiana King, the Grand Duchess of Tech, also known as Flex Luthor, Ned Slanders, Queen of the Amazon Prime subscription, J Prince of All Saiyans, Princess Preach, and the Ting of the North.
Didn't you have a new one?
For views, I do.
Oh, okay.
Not for this show.
Oh, you're still holding on to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not ready to let that one out the chamber just yet.
Not yet.
And no, even though I am wearing my trademark frames right here and the shirt, this is not views from the 616. This is the For All Nerds Show, folks. That's right. And we are back again. Hope you are having a blessed and beautiful week out there. It is now June. It's not officially summer, but, you know, for black folks it is, because Memorial Day is past, so that means summer is here.
That means it's summer.
And basically for black folks, that means we got like 1 week of summer, because I swear, like, it's always like that. You know, it's like Memorial Day passes, and then July 4th hits, and then people act like summer's done. You know, as soon as July 4th hits, it's like, oh, it's over. Oh, my God, you know, summer's over.
Right.
I'm like, dog, no, it's not.
Well, July 1st is the halfway mark of a year, so that's why it kind of feels like, if it feels downhill, that's why.
True indeed. Ooh, that hurts to think about.
Sorry. It is what it is.
Halfway through 2021 already.
Yes.
And we still here.
We're still here. And Speaking, like you said, although this is not views, you are repping hard reviews, because we want to make sure y'all know that we are coming back. As you should be aware, Loki, the next Disney Plus series, will be dropping on June 9th. That's a Wednesday. That's Odin Day, if you will be thinking about Norse mythology. And we will be back. The shows, and again, I feel like we've made our decision, but I don't know if it's going to change. But our decision was we're going to still stick to Monday releases.
Yes.
So views will be back on June 14 to do the first review of that first episode of Loki. And as Benhameen has showed you and illustrated, you got to get your merch to get ready. Meaning you got to go to tpublic.com/stores/forallnerds. And that is where you'll get your amazing views from 616 Designs. Comes in like 6 different variants, I believe. You can get it on shirts, masks, cups, everything that you can think of under the sun. And as he showed with the For All Nerds cup, you have all sorts of amazing designs up there that you can get on a bunch of different products. And again, the reason why we plug that so hard is because that is what helps For All Nerds as a brand, as a unit, as a record label. That is how we pay the bills. This is how we pay our people behind the scenes. Shout out to Luna, shout out to Chica, shout out to Uncolored Page. That's how we get it popping for everybody. That's how we get it popping for you. So we really appreciate your support.
Word up. And so we will be back June 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern time on twitch.tv/forallnerds. That's twitch.tv/forallnerds. So make sure right now, push pause on this. If you're not already, download the app, go on a computer. It don't matter. However you do it, follow For All Nerds, twitch.tv/forallnerds. And that way you'll know us. Turn on your notifications. 3 p.m. Monday. We bat views day. We need thousands and millions of people up in there watching this joint.
We really do.
Yes.
And if that's not enough content for that ass, we have our Bad Batch review and our Invincible reviews all up on Patreon. They are Patreon only, meaning you have to be part of the Patreon fam in order to listen and to watch those, because we have visuals too. So you got to go to patreon.com/ForAllNerds and get yourself on a tier. The lowest tier is like $2 a month. If you can do that, awesome. You get then access to all sorts of exclusive-ish. As I said, the Bad Batch review we already have that up of the first 4 episodes. We'll be doing the next 4 episodes when those come out. And of course, we have like giveaways on there all the time. We might have some stuff coming up, equipment, stuff like that, just dropping hints. I mean, we give away stuff on there all the time.
Yes.
And then we also have our people who are on the Patreon. You get special privilege when it comes to the TeePublic. So you get some money off as well. But you got to be part of it. You got to be in it to win it. So that's why we're telling you, once again, patreon.com/ForAllNerds.
Mm-hmm. And thank you to everyone who has been supporting on the Twitch, on the Patreon, on everything, following views on Twitter, following ForAllNerds on Twitter, on Instagram, all the support, all the love. Thank you so much. I saw somebody today posted us on their Spotify. We come up as a genre now. We're one of their top genres that they listen to.
Yeah,
For
Spotify
All
podcast
Nerds.
is like really in our bag right now. Like they like enjoying us. I see all the conversations going on with views from the 616 account. I said, okay, we in there. So as we told y'all on many episodes, and really every episode, if y'all want to see us like exclusives on these platforms, or you want to see us work with these people, please harass them on the socials. Yo, I need y'all to work with views. Yo, I need y'all to work with Foreign Nerds. Hit up Disney Plus. Hit up Spotify. Hit up all these places, SoundCloud, whatever you can think of. Apple
trying to get back in the
Google.
podcast game.
Hit up all of these people. Hit up Timothy C. Tim Cook himself. Hit them up and let them know, yo, you need to get Tatiana and Ben on, because they know what they're talking about. And we appreciate you for that, because it's because of you is why we've been able to grow so much and do so much more.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So for real, let me reiterate what she said. Hit them folks up. Let them know. Be like, yo, at Spotify, at Apple. Why are y'all not featuring For All Nerds? Don't you all know they are the preeminent voice in geek culture from the perspective of people of color? You had to add that preeminent in there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Get my SAT words on. Get my college-educated Howard University words on.
And at Howard University, we didn't get to say this last week because we were off, but Howard's newly reestablished College of Fine Arts is going to be named after the legend Chadwick Boseman. Rest in power, rest in paradise. We talked about so long that, and that was just something that's been in the works for a long time. But we talked about the last time we were on, we talked about before Felicia Rashad being named as dean of the newly reestablished College of Fine Arts. And now we have Chadwick. And then there's been this viral tweet going around by actually a friend that I follow on Twitter that says, imagine you are a student at Howard University. You attend the College of Fine Arts. The Chadwick Boseman College of Fine Arts. And Felicia Rashad is your dean. Now that's a flex.
I also love the other tweet from the dude who said, "Meet me in front of Boseman."
That's the one I like a lot.
Just simple and plain.
We say that, meet me in front of the quad, meet me on the yard, meet me in front of Douglas, meet me in front of
Douglas,
Boseman.
meet me in front of Crampton, meet me in front of Boseman.
Yeah. Now, all of the protests that happen that we be doing, instead of the protests in front of Fine Arts, we're protesting in front of Boseman. Yo, the levels.
And a lot of y'all know, but some might not know, I was at HU at the same time as my brother Chadwick Boseman. And so I was there, like the pictures going around right now at the Hilltop front page when Chad is talking to Swigert. And I was there when Chad did this fine arts, very artistic protest in the middle of the yard. And back then I was like, man, this dude is really he's intense. I was like, this is the yard. We try to chill my man out here. But, I understood. And I'll be honest, even then I didn't even understand. I remember it was like they wanted to merge them into arts and sciences. And me being a School C kid, but also a fine arts kid, it hurt me in some ways. But then I was also like, I don't really get it. Y'all still be here. But now, seeing Felicia and seeing the Bozeman School of Fine Arts.
Yeah, it just hits so much different. Just as you say, the story that you just shared and all the history behind it, and just the capacity of excellence is just at an all-time high. And I'm just very pleased and proud, as usual, to be a Howard grad, but also really pleased about this renaming and also the reestablishment of the college.
Yeah, I mean, it's so ill because, like you said, it's like the history to see Chadwick be there protesting and talking about why they needed to keep the school separate, why it needed to be a school of fine arts so that Howard would always have that,
Yeah.
Like why that was so important for now to come full circle and the school to be named after him.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say I minored at the Bozeman School, right?
You could.
I mean, I
That's
did
the
minor
name
in
of it.
photography at Howard University School of Fine Arts.
At the Bozeman School of Fine Arts. You can say all that. It's his valid.
I like that. Thank you, Chadwick. You know what I mean? My brother,
Still gift giving, man.
Still gift giving, forever eternal. The legend, man. Rest in power, rest in peace. Thank you. Y'all know, y'all seen the video on our YouTube, of Tatiana talking to him and the pictures from, what was that?
Ben was there too.
I know, 12 Bridges. I was up in there. I got, beautiful pictures with Chad. That was the last time I got to see him.
Yeah.
But every time I got to see that man, like the Black Panther premiere, the Infinity War press jet, where I got to meet, because of Chadwick, I got to meet Angela Bassett. Every time I would see him, it would be the same thing. Yo, what up? Ain't you? Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. Shout out to my brother Greg. Shout out to, I'll be here all day, but shout out to Ta-Nehisi. Shout out to Camilla Forbes, everyone, all my peoples, all HU, love y'all, you know how we do. Whew. Good things. And we got more good things coming, but right now we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back with more from the ForAllNerds show.
Joystick Angels is a YA comic book space opera that takes place in a future where the Earth has been destroyed by an evil alien empire. It follows a fighter squadron of 5 teenage space pilots, Fox, Deuce, Tank, Dragonetti, and Legs, aka the Angels, as they prepare for war on the last human outpost in the galaxy. Co-written by Ray Comics president and founder TJ Sterling and his brother, music producer and Mint Music founder Spencer Sterling, the project is a love letter to 90s comic and anime. The Joystick Angels Kickstarter campaign runs through June 12th and funds the print and production costs for Joystick Angels issue number 1. And with your help, they can get to issue number 2. They have great perks too, including an original soundtrack, shirts, buttons, and more. Take a minute to support a Black indie comic publisher with an amazing project. Go to Kickstarter.com and search for Joystick Angels.
And what's up, y'all, and welcome back to the ForAllNerds show. Thank you for joining us as always every week. We were off last week, but right before that, we dropped some major heat. So let me just bring that up again real quick, because we had Pharaoh Monch on the ForAllNerds show. Put some horns on that for me, Luna. And we had the week before that, Malcolm Spellman, the head writer, might as well call him the showrunner of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's back to back.
Back to back to back, big facts.
And then we hear every week Tatiana King and Benhameen, the dynamic duo, the Team Supreme. So thank you for being here.
So thank you to everyone who's listened and who supported us and said that, enjoyed it. And if you haven't heard it yet, please go back and listen to that and share. One of the biggest things you can do to help us is to share on your IGs, your Facebooks, your Twitters, whatever you use. Please share our content, because the more you share, the more people learn about us and the more support we can get and the more opportunities and the more incredible content we can give you.
And it's like, I know a lot of people look at us like, oh, you're already massive. You got Malcolm Spellman and you got this on the show and you got Pharaoh Monch and, y'all doing this and that. And I'm like, yo, we still doing all this, basically just, like grassroots ass organization right here. So
Mhm.
all the support and all the help, we are actually working on some really big things. But in the meantime, in between time, we need that support, that help, share, let people know about the For All Nerds family. Tell them how much you love us, how great it feels. Because we love y'all. I can't lie. I can't wait for views to come back because I need that Twitch comment section again. I need it.
The Twitch comment section be on point. So.
I need the slander. I need everyone telling me all my theories are wrong.
We need the slander.
And so that 2 weeks later, you can eat your words.
I'm one of the mods, so if y'all get too froggy, I'm gonna ban hammer you. But no, I ain't gonna ban you. I'm just gonna say, hey man, relax.
But I'm gonna have some wild ass theories for Loki. You already know.
Yes, he's gonna be irritating, particularly. So
yes,
I'm ready. It's so coarse and irritating like sand.
95% of the times, coarse and irritating like sand it may be. Them joints is still on point. Test me if you will. That's all I'm gonna say. Because right now, it's not time for testing. It's time for a blessing. Oh, bars. One of my favorite segments on the show.
Oh my God.
The Geekquently Asked Questions. The guac is extra. Where we answer any and all questions from our listeners, from our fam out there. All you got to do to get a question on the show is hit us up. Contact at ForAllNerds.com. Or hit us on the Twitters, the Instagrams, at ForAllNerds. Send in your questions. If you're one of the few, the proud, the many, the millions
and millions
of fam on the Patreon, you can send in your own guac question anytime. It don't matter. You can just hit us right there on patreon.com/ForAllNerds and send in a question. It don't even have to be about geek culture. It can be about anything at all. Like why my Lakers are taking a serious L right now. Someone asked me, they're like, yo, I didn't know you was a Lakers fan. You gonna do a Lakers podcast? Not like this, I'm not.
Not with the current state of things, but
I would have done it last year. But this year, it would be a lot of crying on that podcast.
Though. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yes, we're here in the guac. Let's get to the first question. It comes from D. Doppler, a.k.a. Supersonic the Hedgehog. 93 till Infinity Gauntlet. Johnny Sacco and his flying Flowbot.
What?
I have no idea about that one.
Word? Okay, I figured out some anime that you would get.
Nope. And lastly, the Patreon Don. Yes, D. Doppler would be on Patreon. I think he was one of the first people to join that. So thank you very much.
To you then. To that,
yes.
You can't just take that name on like that, fam. There's a lot of people who supporting on the Patreon.
Doppler has been on the Patreon for since the get-go, I believe. So
okay.
and again, salute to you. We appreciate you.
Yes.
So
the AKAs step it up though.
At least we're truthful to y'all. We love y'all.
Yeah.
All right. The question goes, greeting fam. I just finished watching the MODOK series on Hulu and was thoroughly entertained.
Okay.
It got me thinking, if you were to make a pitch for a development of a show, screenplay, or something similar, what character would you like to see completely out of its element? And what would be the situation? Thanks for what you do and keep up the good work.
It would be redacted.
It would be redacted because once again, we don't give away IP.
Come on, Doppler. I thought you've been here for a while.
I did. He has been here, or not he. I don't know their pronouns. Yep. So they have been here for a while. But I did watch a little bit of the MODOK series, and I see I have to continue watching to really understand if I want to really like it or not.
Yeah.
Because it's smart and all this other stuff, but the first episode just gave me a bit of try hard vibes. Like it's like
let
me
That's
throw
exactly
in as many like cute, quippy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's smart, but it's like someone who knows that they're smart, someone who knows that they're too smart and too good for this, so they can write circles around you. It's like you don't have to try so hard to write like that. Like you are, I can tell the writers are very clever, but it's just like you're trying too hard to be clever, and I just kept getting that vibe through the first episode. It was like, okay, I don't need to be punched in the head with your talent. Like I get it, you're cool. So again, I'm going to keep giving it a couple more episodes just to see how I feel, but that was my initial impression.
I couldn't even finish the first episode mainly because of what you said. Like, I enjoyed it, right away. I'm like cracking up at the Iron Man watching British Bake Off.
Yeah,
I love me some British Bake Off. So that was funny. But then it felt like the problem with like a Family Guy or a South Park where they just cram jokes in. It's like joke, 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 joke,
Yeah.
joke.
But Family Guy had learned that balance of how to pull back from it, where
definitely.
It's not just on top. And like I said, to me, it just felt like just you're going. It's just a line, like similar to when people say you understand creative comedic timing. It's like you just know that line where it's like this is the right amount of sauce, and this is just a little bit too much sauce. I hate to say, just that first episode was just a little bit heavy on the I'm so clever, listen to my jokes type thing. So I'm going to give it some more time. But the thing is, it's still well-written stuff. It's still a great, the animation style. The animation style is very Robot Chicken.
Yep. And
so all of that's cool. And I know I've seen online that a lot of people actually like appreciated this series. And again, it's on Hulu. All episodes are out. Several. It's like a real full slated season. So and it's, I think each episode's like 25 minutes, something like that.
Yep.
So it's not like short either. So like, and that's the thing. It was just so dense, and the episodes are longer. So there's like at least 13 episodes, I think. So I'm just like, and I'm gonna look that up real quick just to see. But again, it just was like, okay, this is a kind of dense for me. But
like I really want to get through it because I definitely got through, and I thought Harley Quinn was one of the absolute greatest things I've ever seen. I'm not sure
on DC.
Oh my God! Did you get to watch that yet?
No, I haven't. No, I refuse to buy DC.
Oh,
universe.
I feel you.
And MODOK on Hulu is 10 episodes.
Okay, see, I caught Harley when it was on like Hulu. They had it on Hulu for a limited time, and so I caught it on there, and it was just you got to watch it. I don't care how you do it, Tatiana. Like it is. To me, it's like two of the best seasons of television I've ever seen. Like beyond just animation, I mean anything. It is just it's incredible. It's so funny. It's so heartfelt. It's so touching. It's so sad. It's so gruesome. And it manages to do all of these things in once. And that is what's really like the MODOK so far. I see they're setting up the whole family relationship. So far. I'm hoping they get some heart and some real where I'm really feeling it, because that was what's so brilliant about Harley Quinn and put it so much above everything else is how it could shift tone so quickly, and sometimes in the same scene. Like you'd be laughing at one moment, crying and then grossed out of your head, or scared for Harley and Poison Ivy the next second. So that show is just leaps and bounds above anyone, pretty much most TV I've seen in a long time. And I like MODOK so far, but like you said, I felt try hard, but I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. And like I said, the most thing I want to see out of this is some type of reference that ties into the Marvel shows or movies, as we know that nothing that they put out is not connected in some way. Like as long as like if there's a cool reference that I don't know a few people end up getting, that's great. If there's a clear, this is, even though this is an animation, Marvel has a fully, I guess, a fully realized ecosystem.
Yeah, I'm still not sure where this plays in. I think you might get Easter eggs and stuff more than any direct connection to the MCU, because this is more like this was done when Marvel was still farming stuff out to people. This was still like of the Netflix era. Late. Yeah, this is before Marvel was like, nah, give us all the money.
Oh, this was before do you think this was before they had like a fully full cohesive plan about no matter where it is?
This was developed and everything back when they were doing Iron Fist and all that. So this is still before,
when it was still Netflix stuff. But
yeah, when they
didn't. The Netflix stuff is still connected to the MCU.
But they didn't have full control. It wasn't like Fahey's sitting there like, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, and you're going to do that.
Facts.
So that's where we're at now. I don't think MODOK is in that same thing, but you'll definitely get the Easter eggs. And I have heard somebody mentioned this. I was on one site the other day, and they were talking about how the Brood show up, and the Brood are like the X-Men's version of aliens, and they've come back in House of X in a big way. So I want to see that, because I think they've been in the cartoon. They were in the cartoon, but that's about it. They ain't got much love on the screen, so I want to see this.
Okay. Well, that's how we feel about MODOK. Not answering your question, but we love you.
Yeah, because you ain't getting that out of us.
That's like we did everything but answer that question. However, you got.
You ever seen the episode of The Wire where they talk about how the man who invented fries does not get paid more by McDonald's? Go watch that scene, and that refers to what it's giving away free pitches.
Okay. All right. Next question comes from Childress J. They write, what Black superhero or heroes would you choose for DC to introduce to the big screen? Next to the big screen. Personally, I love an Icon and Rocket movie.
Superman.
Well, they're doing that. They're working on that.
The black
yeah.
one. You know,
they're working on that.
That's I'm not one. Let me phrase this correctly, right? Y'all know me. I have no what is the regard, care, whatever word, respect for anything that was created out of toxic whiteness, right?
Mhm.
So when people are like, "Oh, don't change this character's race, don't do that, bring us Icon and Rocket," I'm like, "Yeah," and Black Superman, and had them dudes fighting together, or Chinese Superman, Japanese Superman, Native American Superman. I don't care because all I don't want is white male superheroes.
Yeah.
But what I do want to see is diversity and inclusion of everyone. So I'm not really even that, concerned with black superheroes as much because I feel we're getting a lot of black superheroes. And DC, from what they've shown me so far, I cannot trust them with an Icon and Rocket movie. That is Dwayne McDuffie's baby. That is one of the greatest characters in the history of comics. Yeah. I'm not trusting them with that right now. I'm sorry. It just, I trust Ta-Nehisi to write this Superman movie, whether or not it's a black Superman or whatever Superman, turns out to be in the movie. I trust Ta-Nehisi. If they were like, Ta-Nehisi's writing an Icon movie, I'm there for it. Other than that, it's only a few people who I'll trust. I ain't one of them because I'm not dealing with DC to make that movie.
Oh my gosh!
They
gotta have a plan, bro. Like as Benhameen said, everything that they do, I just be like, even when it looks decent, I'm just like, but do I trust them with fully delivering and executing? Because they keep dropping the ball, and hopefully, and the hope is in the future that they come up with a semblance of a plan and get it going. I would love to see a Static Shock movie. Mm-hmm. It also reminds me of this joke that had been going around recently about how it was like, you notice that all the black superheroes, all of their powers are like lightning.
Oh, that's not even a new joke. That is from the 70s. That goes back to Black Lightning.
It's an old joke, but it's becoming prevalent in the last few weeks. And that's when I noticed. So I was just like, holy shit, y'all right. Like Storm, Static Shock. Black Lightning.
I don't need to see Static Shock. I'm sorry. I've got 4 seasons of Black Lightning from DC. It was cool. It is what it is. Static Shock, the cartoon, is a classic. I don't trust them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, y'all. Like,
well, asking me about Static Shock, it's electromagnetic. Like, it's fucking lightning.
It's lightning, dog.
Okay, so please stop. But no, it's true. So, I just want to see some new IP. How about that? I want to see some new IP. I want to see some new characters get put up, including my own that I'm writing. So.
And there you go. And I also feel like Icon and Rocket, like as much as people will be like, I don't want a black Superman. Icon is still a black Superman. And if you put out an Icon movie to people who don't know it, they're going to immediately compare it.
Make the comparison.
It's going to be like, oh, what's that one? Burn or Bright? What's the one with the evil little Superboy?
Bright.
No, not Bright. Brightburn? That's the name of it? I think.
Brightburn,
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, Brightburn. So it's
the evil little boy here.
Yeah, but people immediately know what it is, because it's Superman without being Superman, and everyone who sees it knows it. And Icon's, even though his origin is different, it's still an alien, crashes onto Earth. Has a cape, flies around as invulnerable, etc., etc. People can be like, "Oh, he's the Black Superman." Now he has a much deeper origin story and all that, with Rocket included. But that's only if DC manages to put that in. Like, DC's doing a Black Adam movie. Are they going to get into all the things of Black Adam being a Middle Eastern character and, his wife being ISIS and the whole family of Black Adam and how ill that is? We'll see. I mean, I know they have ISIS in the movie, but are they going to get into it like that? You know what I mean?
But that's being played by Dwayne
The Rock in the
Johnson.
lead and trying to make $1 billion? I doubt it. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. Like, that's just how it works. You got to, make this real commercial. Icon, in its realest form, is a very, Lovecraft Country, Watchmen type of take on superheroes. That's not going to be that, movie out there where they making, where they trying to make $1 billion.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and but we'll see what the Ta-Nehisi does.
We'll see. The last question comes from Black Market Jesus on Twitter. They write, do you feel the need to support Black art or ideas even when they are bad? They say, cough, Yasuke, cough. I couldn't get past the first episode, but
Wow.
because we aren't really seen, because we don't really see, we aren't really seen in that avenue of media, I didn't want to speak bad about it. Do you big it up, keep it quiet, or speak your mind?
Now this is a question I've been debating. I was actually going to do a Twitter thread about this because this is not even related to black art ideas, but there's this idea in Hollywood that you are not supposed to disrespect other people's work when you work in the business, or even criticize other people's work when you work in the business, because one day you might want to work with those people, or you might have to work with these people. I personally I've had to learn how to do that because as y'all know, I host this show, and when I was hosting this show is when I first started working in Hollywood. So I came from, criticizing and discussing these properties to working on these properties. And it did give me a clear indication of things such as why an Icon of Rocket movie in its real form would be very difficult to get made. And I understand why now. And I understand, okay, well, like Malcolm Spellman said on our interview, if we can't get that big win, let's just get a black Superman and get that win, and then next time we can get the Icon of Rocket maybe. But black Superman is big in itself, but that's straight away from this question. So my answer is as far as even Hollywood, I've definitely gotten better at phrasing my words and choosing when to speak about something. I won't dog something unless it's egregious.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Wonder Woman 1984, I felt was an egregiously disrespectful movie to the character of Wonder Woman, to women worldwide, to a lot of things. I could go on and on.
Ben did not fuck with them musically whatsoever.
At all. As a record label, as a podcast, nothing. Somebody just told me how that movie made them not want to rock Wonder Woman clothes anymore. It's so bad.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way. But my thing is, I also I would say in the olden times of Fanbros, olden times, I may have just been more harsh than now. Like you said, I now choose my words much more carefully and really am more considerate when I'm making a critique. But I want to make the point of the difference between criticism and critique, such as constructive criticism. I think that's what we do on the show. That's what we do on Views from the 616. Short of the jokes that we make, when we're really digging into a concept and our idea or media, me personally, I have to be honest. And if something strikes me as Benhameen said, if it's egregious, I'm just going to say what's egregious about it.
Yeah.
If it's something where I don't agree or I'm questioning it, I'm going to speak about it more intelligently and more thoughtfully. I won't just straight up say, yo, it's trash, unless, of course, it's something really egregious or it's some Nazi shit or something like that. I'm stuff that's worth having the conversation. I'm going to have that conversation and try to get clarity. And then after the clarity point, if it's just yo, this is just what they went for, I'm like, all right, I don't know what else to do with it. And then also, as Ben said, sometimes I choose just to keep quiet or not even review it. Case in point, them.
Yep.
I said to y'all I wasn't watching it, and I stuck by that, and I will continue to stick by that. I don't have anything to say about it because I haven't seen it, and I won't. So.
No. Yeah, and that's how I generally agree 100% with everything you said there. I'm not if I don't like something nowadays, I watch a lot of stuff and y'all just never hear me mention it because I just be like, oh, okay, and keep it moving. Because one, I know I do work in this business and I understand how difficult it is to get something put to screen. I understand how a writer might write one version of a script and then when they see that show, it's a completely different version of the shit they wrote, and they had no control over any of that. So it's there's so many levels to this, and it's a business first before it's a creative place. And so understanding that about Hollywood, I'm not quick to dog things. Now, I can never pronounce it.
Yasuke.
I'm sorry, yo. I don't get what you're talking about. I haven't finished it yet, but I watched the first 4 episodes. I thought they were very entertaining, and I've been watching more anime lately, and a lot of it's okay. A lot of stuff that I've seen people be like, yo, is mid.
Okay. Yeah.
And I get that y'all are invested in it, but it's mid. And
you're being real.
Yeah, let's keep it real. I watched the first few episodes of Kill La Kill the other night. I liked it. I
love Kill La Kill. But see, Kill La Kill is also satire.
And I know that, and I got that instantly, and it's a good show, but it's like, okay, Cowboy Bebop, the oh my god of shows,
but Cowboy Bebop is very boring. Also,
why didn't somebody say that?
Don't confuse. I mean, it is like, and this is coming from a fan of Cowboy Bebop. Let me be clear. I'm both a fan, and I admit that it can be very boring at times because it's. And my thing is, you have to have the capacity to be honest about it, and like, don't just revere it because it's legendary. Like. Back in the day, there was a whole podcast episode from the Outlaw Bars Girls about how they wasn't feeling Akira. Now, Benhameen will shout them down all day long about how dare you.
Yeah,
but I understand, like, just because it's a legendary property or everyone has revered it to be put this on its pedestal doesn't mean that when you see it, like, you have to like it. Like,
no.
And I understand. My thing is, it's from a different time, it's from a different approach, and it may not be your cup of tea.
No, I think Akira personally is very weird and very difficult, and it's because it's condensed from the manga, which I've never read because the manga is so absolutely so out of control long.
See?
It's very difficult. You know, it's like taking Lord of the Rings and making one movie out of it instead of making three.
And I'm not gonna sit here and watch or read through all these Lord of the Rings. I saw the three I needed to see, and I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Akira, to me, like, you know, animation wise, all that, it's just, oh my God, it's some of the most beautiful stuff you ever see. But as a film,
as a story,
as a story, it can be kind of confusing and kind of weird and kind of like and who cares, you know?
Right. And the same can be said of a lot of these, as Benhameen said, a lot of these shows and anime that people revere, and then you get to it, you're like, this is what y'all was flipping out about.
Yeah, and so like for people to, and so I've seen a lot of like, oh yes, K has, you know, mechs. Why do they have this? Why do they have that? And I'm like,
because they can.
Because they can, and that's anime in general. That's what they do. It's not supposed to be some historical retelling of Japanese and this.
And also, I think what people got twisted is because it's first of all, let's be clear, it's loosely based on the real life person of Yasuke, the first black samurai that I mean, over the last few years, he got much more notoriety.
Yeah,
but people think, like I said, maybe they one in this thing is going to be some historical kind of true to form shit. No, it's an anime based very loosely on this one dude, and then as far as I've been told, it's not, the whole thing's not even really about him. So what do you expect?
I don't know. You've watched more anime than me. I've watched a lot. I don't remember that many, you know, like true to life historical dramas being the ones that people are like, yes.
Maybe people thought this was going to be Afro Samurai. Maybe. I don't know if you've seen Afro Samurai. Maybe people thought this was going to be Afro Samurai, where it's more around that lane as opposed to...
And still kind of mid?
I mean, right. No, but I just mean just
I
in terms
like Afro Samurai, but it ain't like that was like...
the approach, as I said, that's more serious or more historical, even though it's a fictional story. My whole thing is, y'all got to pull back and look at the synopsis and really understand where they're coming from before you jump in it. Like, don't just assume, because especially if it's anime, because you're going to get mad. The only other point I wanted to make was the other level of this, that this Black Jesus, this Black Market Jesus person is talking about. They said that they don't want to speak bad about it. And they really meant in the terms of, because I presume you're a person of color or Black, and you didn't want to talk bad about another Black creator's work. That portion I also understand it's a little difficult, because there's always the two arguments that, Black creators get it worse from other Black people because they have to be perfect and on point, and if they not, we jump down their throats. And then the other part of that argument is, okay, but don't they deserve to be treated the same way we treat all other art forms? Like, are we supposed to always handle them with kid hands? And with me, I'm just like, it depends. Once again, and to me, it goes back to that our original answer of, if it's some egregious shit, you gotta say something. That's how I feel. You gotta say, or that's how I operate. You gotta say something. If it's something where it's just like, you wouldn't jump down the throat of any other type creator, why would you jump down their throat? Then I understand.
Yeah. Like, a lot of people jumped down the throat of Lena Waithe when she did Queen and Slim. And I mean, pretty much all of her moves ever since. And I watched Queen and Slim. I turned it off about 20 minutes before and went to, Wiki before it was over. I was like, okay, that's how it ends. It was just long. But at the same time, I didn't find anything egregious about it. It was just
more
like,
so people were reading this. I don't even know the script that actually made it to the film.
Yeah,
but they were
I
reading
don't know
script.
that. And so that's what I'm saying. When people start trying to be insider and they're not, I don't worry about that, because y'all don't know, there's a lot more levels to it. Who knows if that's fake, real? I don't care. Watch the movie. That's what was put out to you. You know what I mean? If you want to go get the script and read it yourself, not like a excerpt on, Twitter or something. But also that's that rage and, anger thing that Twitter and social media love to do. They love to present you with the smallest bit of something so you can get mad about it. And then you'll find other people are mad about it and it amplifies your anger. But I personally am not that person and don't care. I watched the movie. I'll go read the whole script if I'm that interested. I think I read Queen and some script and I didn't find it egregious. I just found it like, okay. And I get people, this slave type of I just don't have time for that type of shit. I'll be honest, man. Like, I can't sit there. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna, because if you go read some of these white boy scripts, you know what I mean, and see the language that's in them. I always talk about Star Trek. I went and read some of the original Star Trek scripts. The Gene Roddenberry, the forward thinking. Oh my God, them scripts is like, and then this woman went over there and cried because she should have been in the kitchen. Like straight up. That's the type of stuff that is in these scripts. So I can't get mad at Black people over stuff that everyone does, and I'm like you said, I'm not just going to judge them, but I do feel that Hollywood in general, I think that's a problem, that it allows for mediocre shit to get done more often than not because no one wants to criticize people they might work with. And no one wants to say, yo, that's kind of mid,
and
fam.
that sucks. And me as a creator, if you're in my circle, in my writing room with me, I need you to be honest. Don't let me embarrass myself in these streets because I'm going to turn to you and be like, nigga, you was there with me. You was supposed to help me. Like, help me. Like,
yeah,
why,
but see,
why y'all just let me go?
It's tight. That's why you keep people like me around, and that's why I always tell people, go watch things like Hollywood Shuffle so you can start to understand how this business works. Go watch this other one, The Producer with Tim Roberts, I think it is, and Giancarlo Esposito. And the one, even though everyone dogs him out now, Kevin Spacey's film Swimming with Sharks it's beyond real about Hollywood. And it will, it just shows you a whole, like, you ain't ready for that. There's a lot of shit that people, as fans, as critics and everything, it's a different game when you're in those rooms and how they move in there, and you have to play it very carefully. And that's why you see a lot of people make the moves they make. And I'm not that person. I always tell y'all this is something like, and that's why I say watch Hollywood Shuffle, because there's always, like, the greatest line in the movie is there's always work at the post office. You should never sell your soul to make $1. And that's something I had to learn personally. Because when I got out there and I got them checks on gods and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. All I got to do is keep writing whatever and, get these checks. But then it's like, are you going to write whatever to get these checks?
Exactly.
And that's the question you have to ask yourself. And that's what I asked myself. And that's why I was like, nah, I'm good. What I mean?
How much integrity do you have?
Yeah, I can do ForAllNerds. I can DJ. I can do other things. And then when the right opportunity comes along, I can be there. But I'm not starving to get back in a room. And that's a big problem in Hollywood. A lot of people starve to work there. And then they'll do anything to keep the lights on once they get in. And that, that's where you start to see a lot of issues.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Yep.
But that was a great question. Thank you, everybody, for your guac questions. If you have a question, as Benhameen said, it could be about geek culture or nah. We don't care. We love to talk to you. Please hit us up. contact@forallnerds.com on the emails, or if you want some space and or privacy. You can also hit us up on the socials @ForAllNerds. We always do our guac posts every week. And if you are part of our Patreon fam, don't matter which tier, patreon.com/ForAllNerds. You get guaranteed guac questions. Just hit us up. You can send us a question anytime. We're going to see your comment and we're going to loop it into the show.
And before we get out of here, because it's been a couple of weeks, it's now time for Comic Psycho. I don't even know why I put my hands, because
you're trying to do the echo, but
yeah, but our engineer anyway. Luna adds all that anyway, so it's like I don't need to do that, but it just feels
practical
better that way.
Effects. Yeah,
just part of it. It's like when Whitney Houston used to do that with the mic when she was singing. She'd be like, just that extra. You get that. I feel her. I feel you, Whitney. Yes, this week in comics, I want to give a quick shout out to MechaCon, because they're always talking about how we got to support independent, Black comics and stuff. And I really don't have any this week, and I feel bad about that. But But definitely always make sure you're supporting independent comics. What is something that I've been mentioning recently? In 9 Out of Where Spider, I'm loving that. Make sure you go, look that up online, cop that in 9 Out the Where Spider. It's a dope ass book about this dude who basically comes from another dimension, but he represents the Anansi trickster spider god, and he comes into our world and basically becomes like a superhero, but it's like this black kid who's having to learn to deal with this reality and missing his own reality. That's what I really loved about it. It's like how he doesn't even really want to be here. You know what I mean? Like he's a hero by default because he can't get back to his homeland. And his homeland is like that perfect Wakanda, Zamunda, Africa, just greatest thing ever, and he can't get back there.
He's stuck in ghetto ass Earth. Huh?
Yeah, and like the last issue I read, there's 2 bonus issues that are like outside of the main storyline, but he meets his crew, like this crew of break dancers, and because he's a 9 Out of Where Spider, he got the ill moves, and so they're all blown away, and so then he goes along with them, and through them is learning about hip hop and about African American culture, and so it's a really dope little series. I'm really loving it. And 9 Out of Where Spider, make sure you check that out. And there, boom, just gave you some independent black comics. You can pick that up if you're in New York at Anyone Comics, because as always, make sure you support your local comic book store. If you're not in New York, if you're not in Brooklyn, Google your local comic book store, find out what they are. Especially look up black-owned comic book stores, because there are a lot of them out there. You know what I mean? Shout out to Almagla. I can, even before she chose it. I didn't know that's an old superhero word, and I didn't know how to pronounce it.
Amalgam Comics in Philly.
What is it?
Amalgam Comics in
Amalgam.
Philly.
Yeah, shout out to Amalgam Comics in Philly. Anyone Comics up in Brooklyn. But this week, 2 quick comments I do want to talk about. I just read this week are the latest issue of Hellions, which is, the latest issue of Marauders is what really kicks off the Hellfire Gala. Because now all the X-Men comic books are going on this, I think, 10 or 12 issue interconnected crossover about them holding the Hellfire Gala, which is where they invited all the top humans to Krakoa, and they're having this big party, and everybody's coming all swanked out. I gotta say, Magneto's outfit is buttocks. Like, I don't know who dressed that man.
You don't like Magneto's fit?
Yo,
what does it
Google
look like?
it. Oh my God, the man! This is the first time I saw it in the Hellions issue. Man got like a top hat. He got like a suit jacket, and then I don't. It's a hot mess. I was feeling Havoc's joint. People in the comic were dissing it, but I liked Havoc's suit. I don't know. Magneto's a hot mess. Sinister has an interaction in this issue that I won't give away. Mr. Sinister has been pure comedy throughout the Hellions. They've been expanded on what Kieran Gillen did with him, where he is just like this flamboyant, all about his dressing, but also about being a evil cloning scientist.
I'm looking at Magneto's fit. What's wrong with it? I think it's drip. You don't like his top hat? First of all, it's cool because it's like a gray silverish. I guess it's supposed to represent white, but gray silverish
it's like
suit
whitish,
with gold accents all over, embroidery accents, some
Yep.
flowers, and the way he has his cape is like wrapped around his arm and draped down it. And he has a pimp
like
cane too. And I don't know, maybe you don't like the top hat, but I don't think, I still think it looks like drip. Like most of the Hellfire Gala designs were in like, this just blew me away. Especially everyone got all hot and bothered by Colossus.
Yeah.
But Colossus looked good as hell. But I have no problem with Magneto's fit.
Maybe it was the artists on the Hellions. Maybe it was the angles. They weren't capturing it in the best light. I don't know, but I was not feeling the drip on Magneto.
Compared to the others, it's not as fire. But
there we go. Did you see Havoc? They got Havoc with the suit, and it's like
Havoc. Havoc looked like he come from a Final Fantasy character.
Yeah. I was feeling
like
Havoc,
though.
especially because Havoc's normal suit is so whack. Like I can't believe it's been like 50 years of that man wearing that terrible ass outfit.
All the women are eating up all the men.
Psylocke
just FYI.
looks in the issue. Psylocke has one of the Marauders. He damn near drops her jaw when she walks in, and I was right there with him because
Angel's outfit is very boring.
Okay, I haven't seen Angel hasn't shown up yet.
Very
so
boring. Bishop got that drip. He looking like Eddie Murphy. Look at him, man. Look at him. I'm gonna give you the link on that.
All right.
I mean, like I said, most of the fits are pretty cool. Like I wouldn't put the Magneto's as the top one, but I wouldn't put it as bad. I'm mad you call his outfit ass.
I mean, look, I just was not feeling. Like I said, maybe in another issue with a different artist, I'll like it. But in the Hellions issue, I just wasn't feeling it. But I also, since we're talking about this Hellfire Gala, I want to shout out that last issue of Marauders, which came out, I want to say 2 weeks ago, because Storm is leaving the Marauders team. I'm not sure where she's going or whatever. But the Marauders have been this team since Krakoa was founded. They've been led by Cape Pride, and they've been rolling around on this boat, through, going through the ocean, basically being pirates of Krakoa. And like whenever mutants need help, they go, or if mutants can't use the gates to get to Krakoa, they go and get them, stuff like that. That's the missions they've been doing. So it's been an ill book. I've been enjoying it. But Storm's leaving, and the issue is so dope of her leaving because they're on the boat headed to Krakoa for the Hellfire Gala. And they're all reminiscing, telling stories about Storm. So it's like Kitty Pryde, Bishop, Pyro, I think Nightcrawler, and a few other characters all tell stories about Storm. And it's just a really dope, heartfelt issue. And that I really want to recommend that. I'm not sure where Storm will be next in the X-Men books. But I just got to say, once again, them shits is on fire. Like, House of X, Powers of X was fire. And then I was like, I kind of fell off after a while, because I was like, it's so many different books. How am I going to keep up? But then a few weeks ago, I just, I didn't have much else to read. So I just grabbed all of the Dawn of X and everything leading up to Hellfire Gala. Because I'd read Sword of X already. I'm XXX. I just keep saying X. But I got to say, this shit's on fire, yo. Shout out to Vita Ayala and the Children of the Atom book. Because that's tying into Hellfire Gala. The Way of X book featuring Nightcrawler trying to figure out the religion and philosophy of mutants now is ill. They're just doing all these ill angles, and I'm just loving to see it. So it's X-Men is on fire right now, yo. That is like, I just can't deny it,
The only questionable fit I see really is Nightcrawler's because he looks like the front of Captain Morgan's run.
Yo, he gets hammered in the latest issue. In that issue, he's hammered because he's in there trying to debate, over like philosophical ideas and religious ideas, and my man is hammer time
on brand
in the latest issue at the beginning of the gala. He needs to head to detox.
Oh, Manifold's jacket is fire, but yeah, I listen. I love fashion, and generally speaking, I love everything that they've thrown out thus far.
Oh my god, I cannot remember the guy's name that Sinister has this interaction with, but Sinister, it's this his skin is red. He used to serve Magneto. I can't remember his Exodus. So him and Exodus
joint. Look, I saw his
okay, well, him and Exodus have been having this back and forth. Like issues past. They're sitting on the Quiet Council together, and Sinister looks over him and he's like, "Did your epaulets, well, whatever his shoulder things are?" He's like, "Did they get bigger?" He's like, "I will not be outdone in shoulder ornamentation. Let me tell you." And so then he shows up at the ball, they're at the gala together, and Exodus walks up and he's like, Sinister says, "Why are you even standing close to me? The comparisons will be horrific."
Oh my god.
He's like, "You can't even stand next to me, fam."
The fashion shade, love it.
Oh my god. So yeah, if you want some good, character, just a really, X-Men is just, pure on fire right now. Even shit I didn't think I'd like Dak and Wolverine's son is having a relationship with Aurora, and I'm loving it. And when I was like, ugh, that's so gross. And now I'm like, oh, this is such a great relationship. Yeah, man, they're killing it over there. Like, shout outs to Marvel, shout outs to everybody working on those books from Hickman on down. Y'all are doing, work. I'm thoroughly impressed.
Nice.
Yes. And that is it for Comics I Copped. As always, make sure to use those hashtags Comics I Copped. That's Comics I COPPED for whatever comics you're buying. New, old, it don't matter. Manga, comics related, novels, books, whatever. Use the hashtag. Spread it around. Comics I Copped. Thank you very much.
Fan Bros.